Hey y'all, and happy Monday. Excuse my voice, I'm getting over being sick, so it's a little weird. But we are going to be looking at James chapter 1 this afternoon actually. The first 8 verses. It starts off in verse 2. Consider all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials. It says when, it doesn't say if, it says when because it's going to happen. Knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Isn't it a very strange and not pleasant thought to know that when you encounter trials, and in different versions it calls them temptations, that it is actually perfecting you into the person that God is calling you to be, and so they're actually for your good? As stretching and painful as they can be sometimes, they're for your good. And it's so that you will, in the end of your life, lack nothing. At least I think that's what it means. Continuing on, but if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. You don't ask the internet, you don't go to a book, you don't ask chat GBT, you go to God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, without any doubting, for the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. So the whole thing with asking in faith. There's another verse. I should have looked up the reference, but I forgot to. It says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. And something that David Guzik pointed out, and I'm just going to quote him on this, it says, faith is tested through trials, not produced by trials. But when you look up in the first 3 verses that we would have read, where am I going with this? What is produced by trials? It's endurance. And faith, we're supposed to ask in faith. And there was something in the back of my mind that I meant to pull out with all of that, and it just completely escaped me. But I think it was just that without faith it is impossible to please him. And that it is your faith that gets tested, but it doesn't produce faith because it is the faith that you already have that is getting tested. If that makes any sense. And just know that when you ask God of wisdom, he is a good, faithful God who will give very generously to his children because he wants you to know. So, like always, go read it for yourself.